What's up, Know Your Books family? We're back again with another review, and this time we're going to be talking about Alex Banayan's The Third Door. I'm actually super excited to share this review with you guys because, as you know, we had some heavy hitters these last couple of weeks. We had Mastery by Robert Greene. We had Jordan B. Peterson's 12 Rules for Life, and both of them were extremely heavy. You know, there were books that are serious. Although there are some light areas, but it was a very serious topic as well. This also, but it's a little bit more light. It has a story form. So I was really excited to actually go into it, and I really want to show you what I actually thought of this book. So without further ado, let's get into this knowledge. So first impressions is that the cover looks very nice. It's all black with a white font, some light blue mixed in. It really takes you in. Also, the title, The Third Door, makes you want to ask the question what the third door actually, what the third door actually is. But we will go into that in a little bit. The back has some notable names on there, very impressive. Daniel Pink, Arianna Huffington, Eliana Murillo, and Tony Robbins. And above that, you know, it says these people found the third door. It kind of sells itself if you look at the back. So, you know, it's just a very attractive cover. I like it. It's captivating, and I think it does sell itself. Let's get into some of the content of the book and how it actually starts off. Alex starts off explaining what the third door actually is, and he uses the analogy of life and business and success being like a nightclub. There's always three ways in. The first way is to go through the main entrance, where 99% of the people wait around and hope to actually get into the club. Then there's the second door, and the second door is the VIP entrance, where the billionaires and the celebrities and the people that have been born into it actually go in. Third door is where you do whatever it takes to get into that nightclub. So that's knocking on doors, meeting whoever you can, cold calling, cold emailing, and just doing whatever you can. What Alex Banayan says is that people like Bill Gates, people like Steven Spielberg, and all these other successful people always went through the third door. Anyhow, Alex goes into this mission, the mission to find the most successful people and find out how they started their careers. How were they able to actually start from absolutely nothing and then grow into people that changed the world? After Alex was scouring through many self-help books, biographies, he wasn't able to find one book that would actually pull together all this information from all these successful people when they started their career. But Alex wasn't able to fund this mission because he was still in school, he didn't have any money, and he had a very large student debt. Because he didn't have any money, he saw an opportunity to go on a game show, The Price is Right. And even though in the beginning he thought it was a stupid idea, he took the risk anyway. So he went to the game show even without knowing the rules of the game show and actually won a sailboat. And with this sailboat, he sold it and was able to fund his mission to go traveling to wherever he needed to go to actually accomplish this mission. Stories in the book cover the highs and lows of what Alex goes through when he tries to get in contact with these successful people, people that change the world, that are busy to no end. It goes into stories of how he met Bill Gates, how he was trying to get in touch with Mark Zuckerberg, how he met Maya Angelou, Quincy Jones, and all these other people. But the most beautiful part about the story is how he literally goes through those emotions and he's chasing down people like Steven Spielberg or Larry King, trying to chase him through a parking lot, but even being crouching in a bathroom to actually talk to Tim Ferriss. So I really want to give you some of the stories that are in the book. I think that is really the meat of the book. That is what the book is about the stories and to show people what's possible. I don't want to spill all of it for you, but there's one story that really stuck with me, and that was not only the story of this one, but also Quincy Jones, but more Sugar Ray Leonard and what role he played in the story of Alex. When Alex was rejected by some of the most successful people for an interview, he was able to get in touch with Sugar Ray Leonard. He was invited to his house, which is already an amazing feat. But then Sugar Ray Leonard gave him so many great tips on how to persevere, the importance of persistence, discipline, and having a purpose, something that is larger than just a dream, where you can just push through those obstacles and not give up. I'm skipping some of the story of Sugar Ray Leonard, but I think this was really something that pushed Alex still to continue with this journey and this mission that he had in the beginning. But let's go into the more objective parts of the book, what I think about the book and the actual grading of this book. So as for writing and structure, it was very simple, great, and Alex had those much needed signposts where he expresses his mindset at the time and how he feels in the moment. But it isn't a super masterpiece when it comes to this part of the book, but I couldn't stop reading. So as for writing, I will give it a 7 out of 10. The storytelling was incredible. Alex just has a way of putting you into the story, of sharing his emotions and making them your own. And I think that's the most powerful part of this book. So if I would have to grade the storytelling, I would give it a 9 out of 10. The reason I give this book a 9 out of 10 is because when I was reading this book, time just stopped, and after a while I just realized I was at page 150 after opening it, just opening it, and I just couldn't stop reading, and I just didn't realize that I was that far in. When it comes to the practicality, I don't think it is very practical, but I don't think that's the goal of the book. I think the goal of the book is to show you what is actually possible if you put your mind to something, if you persist, if you work hard but also smart. I think that the book gives so many ideas as well, but it isn't like if you come out of the book that you know exactly what to do. It is more left up to you. I get it, it's not a one-size-fits-all for everyone. Quality is a 6 out of 10. When it comes to credibility, I think Alex Banayan has really put in his time and effort, and especially because the story is about him actually creating the book, put so much time and effort into getting the most successful people in the planet to give him an interview, to give him some information. And I think that's the great part about the book as well. So it has a lot of credibility behind it, especially when he talks about certain common themes in other people's stories. So there's a lot of credibility behind it, especially if, of course, you look in the back. There's Tony Robbins there, Ariana Huffington. There are other people in the book that he's talking about, Quincy Jones, Sugar Ray Leonard, Bill Gates, and the list just goes on and on of all these amazing people, entrepreneurs, that give him advice and also give him their insights into the mission that he has. He's just great at taking other people's perspective, but also giving his emotion and his mindset at the time. So if I would have to grade the credibility, I would give the credibility an 8 out of 10. If I would have to grade this book, I would grade this book a 7.5 out of 10. I know it's not extremely high, but what I really want to say is that this book is an incredible book. You will lose yourself in the storytelling. I love this book. Personally, I would give this book a 10 out of 10. But in comparison, if we're going to compare to other books that I have read, it is not as practical as a mastery or as structured as a 12 rules for life, and many more. It's just an incredible story. The way he tells a story, his emotions, it's like you're there. And I think this book basically changed my life, the way I think about things, the way I think about people in general. Because when you come off, for example, Robert Greene's books, you're extremely skeptical about every human being that you come across. But when you read this book, you believe more in the generosity of people and the kindness of people. And I think this is the type of book that people need when they're in a time of struggle and adversity, to really see what's possible. And I could relate to Alex's story, especially when he talks about his dad and his family, what he's been through. I can really relate to that story. So, for me, it's highly recommended for anyone out there or who's ever watching this video. Make sure you grab The Third Door by Alex Banayan. I'm not just saying it because I reviewed it or because, I'm relating to his story. I'm telling you because I think this book can really change people's lives. That's about it for me. That's all I need to say. The book sells itself. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're here, then you should probably know your books.
Still hustling at 5 in the morning. These retro joints ain't never walked a mile in them, knowing no matter what they say, heavy to head. Who said shit would be simple to get rich and stay out the trunks of Lincoln Continental? Remember barely getting by applying fundamental. In these streets, you either eat or become dinner. Ain't shit to win when you already got it all, but go from having no options to buying mansions, Versace, you shit.